pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, I'd like to call to order the regular meeting of the Romeo Downtown Development Authority for Wednesday, September 12th, 2018. Lisa, can we do a roll call?
Simon?
Yes.
Humphries?
Yes.
Shulo? Yes. Brandt?
Yep.
Chika?
Here.
Hayes?
Here.
Poznanski? Kraft? Parker?
Yeah.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. All right, next we have public forum.
Yes,
Amy?
I just
Floor
want
is
to
yours.
publicly thank Bill Parker for allowing the banners to hang on his building. I had to come down for the Peach Festival, and I know he doesn't want that, but we're thanking him.
You're ruining my image.
I know, but it's awesome.
It did look good.
Bill who?
That guy over there.
Thank Rex, it was his idea.
There you go. Thanks, Amy.
Yep.
All right, approval of the agenda.
I make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Motion by President Siglo. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Humphries. All in favor? Aye. All right, next we need approval of the minutes for the August 1st, 2018 regular meeting.
I make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Motion by President Siglo. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Parker. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, Carol, you're up with the treasurer's report.
All right, we currently have 99,000, no, I can't read it, sorry. $90,619.98 in our checking accounts. We have future revenue of $278,535.55. We've received $12,564 in TIFA money from Bruce Township. We had received $1,325 for the haunted, that's not supposed to be haunted, it's supposed to be Harvest Day, not Haunted Eve, I'm sorry. Fix that. And we've received $21 in interest. Bills to pay. Okay. Lisa had, since our last meeting, Lisa had 4 paychecks and the payroll taxes. And we gave a check to the Romeo Chamber for the Art and Wine Walk. We renewed our rent with Vintage Properties. We gave a deposit for Harvest Days to ABC Entertainment. I paid a phone bill to AT&T. I gave another deposit check to Arts and Scraps for Harvest Days. I paid the July weeding to Delco. And then I paid our chamber dues for $90. I paid the August weeding for Delco. I paid the watering contract to Vans Valley. I paid the current phone bill for this month, and since we're a little bit later in the month. And then I also paid the credit card bill for various things we bought for Harvest Days. So I'm looking for approval of $11,835.91. And if anybody has any questions, I have the bills right here.
I make a motion to approve the bills as presented.
Are the hours just because Labor Day was in there and,
We've got a longer time span. We've got 6 weeks.
but
I
there's
think
still
he's
each
asking
paycheck
the,
is every 2 weeks, right,
Right,
for
but
Lisa?
the last meeting we had was like the first of the month.
Yeah, but
and
we
now
still
we're
got,
all the way to the 12th, and she was behind.
no, I'm looking at, each pay period is 2
Harvest
weeks.
Days.
Oh,
Right.
Harvest Days.
Calls,
And we have a
emails,
10-hour a week,
15-hour a week.
oh, we're up to 15?
That's what we did, yeah, 10 to 15 was supposed to be, but Harvest Days, because
So do we have?
Carol's been helping.
No, I'm just,
Yeah.
so we have
Yeah,
budget
it's-
to cover, cause that's like another 100% over.
Oh, yeah,
We'll-
we're still well way under budget.
Okay. On the salary piece though?
Yeah.
Okay.
So after
But
Harvest
she's
Day,
got
we'll
a
see
lot
it
of- oh, it'll
scale
taper
down a little bit.
So we're at 15 a week right now, right? That's what the,
Averaging out to be roughly.
The last 2 weeks.
And, we're at.
that's what it's averaging, but what did we budget for? 15 or did we budget for 12 or?
I honestly don't remember off the top of my head. I think,
Thought it was 15.
so.
I thought it was 20.
Well, it was, and then
I'm
we cut
looking,
it back
I'm
to just
looking.
Fridays, and you can't do 20 hours in a Friday, so.
Right.
There's been it's
Yeah,
been Saturdays
payroll's at
too.
15,000 for the
I'm not
year,
challenging the
and we're at
hours.
3,500 right now.
Okay, I'm just challenging whether we fall in under whatever we budgeted to pay you, that's all I'm
Right.
questioning.
No, yeah, it's just there's a couple that are high. That's a.
And that happens every year,
Yeah.
so, okay, cool.
Yeah, so, in answer to the question, it's 15,000 for the year, and with these paychecks, it's at 3,500, 3,400. So we're still way below what we should be.
All right, we did have a
I need
motion.
a second.
We have a motion on the
Second.
table from President Siglo, second by Seidel. All in, Lisa, can you do a roll for this?
Yes. Sigler,
Yes.
Seidel,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Hayes,
Yes.
Jacob,
Yes.
Brandt,
Yes.
Humphries.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. One quick note, Lisa, if you could check with Kelly, because I don't think I ever signed the new lease. I don't think I ever got a copy of that, so
Okay.
should probably just, what's that?
She's kind of busy. Kind of had a surgery yesterday.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could email whatever works. I can sign a copy and drop it off there. All right, next up, we've got Lisa Hall with the director's report.
Well, the last month, most of my time has been spent on Harvest Days, getting stuff together, getting people there, confirming, delivering save the dates, things like that. Sponsor letters, going out and taking sponsor forms to try and get money to help us with it. Before Peach Festival, I noticed some of the flowers were looking a little more wilted than normal, so I called Ray and asked him to put some extra water on them. Again, I did I delivered all the printed save the date cards, talked to Tim about about the Peach Fest banners and where they needed to go. SUR students, my understanding at this point in time is they don't have a coordinator right now, so I contacted the National Honor Society teachers to ask them if they had, kids that needed hours and they could volunteer for Harvest Day. So, waiting to hear back on that. I talked with two different companies about taking care of the trash cans. Only one of them provided a written estimate. Did the farmer's market on the 18th of August. We had 5 vendors. There were quite a few people in the park that day.
That's
And
good.
a lot of people did ask about how they could come in and, be a vendor, and asked when we were gonna have it this year and if it was gonna be on a more regular basis next year, and I did tell them, yeah. Normal office hour stuff. Gotten a donation of candy, from someone, so we got candy for the bags, which was nice. Spoke with Amy about the banners and possibly getting them a little bit earlier to try and get them up before Thanksgiving, because a lot of the merchants feel like it would be better if we had them up before Thanksgiving.
We're working on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, to kind of push the,
It's hard to do
Sales
Christmas in
will-
September in school,
Exactly.
but we're working on it.
And I talked with Kat, and her available dates and the venue dates just didn't mesh this year for the Haunted Travels thing, so it's not gonna happen this year, but we're trying to work it out, so it will happen next year. It's just, dates didn't work.
So we're gonna have to move some money around because that was
Right.
what
That's
funded a lot of.
Right.
And
that's-
where are we at dollar wise with sponsors for Harvest Day? I know that I saw on the treasurer's report. I didn't know if that was everything or.
So both haunted, because we were gonna do 2 haunted activities, right?
Right.
We're not doing either, 0?
We've normally done 2 in the past. We
And
were
we're-
gonna try for 1, but the 1 did not work out.
Okay,
For
so
dates
we're
and-
down to 0.
We're down to 0 for this year, yeah. Next year, we may have to move it into the end of September. So,
Okay, so far the budget looks like About $9,325 is the cost. And so far in vendors, we have trying to see if that's 23, yeah, 2375. Plus we got $500 in today. So we only have $2,875 so far. And then plus another pledge of another $1,000.
So we're gonna need roughly another 5,
At least.
and do we have,
Yeah,
Do
we
we
move
have it?
things around.
okay,
Well, I forgot, what did we budget for Harvest Days?
0.
we didn't budget anything
Oh, we didn't
before
budget
because
Because we
if
thought we were gonna
had
do a haunted eve again.
the money we made off that usually paid for everything and then some. So it wasn't an issue last year, which is why we didn't budget for it this year.
So we're funding
So if anybody,
Harvest,
if
we're
anybody
funding
knows
Harvest
anybody who
Days
wants to
out of,
sponsor,
out of our
The year
UDA
before,
budget.
we had 5,000 that we needed when we did it by ourselves. But we gotta remember, this year, we're having a few more exciting things that Lisa didn't mention, that will be very kid orientated, and we're gonna be selling $5 wristbands for the kids to participate in these, things, such as the pony rides, the petting zoo, an obstacle course. Help me here.
I heard people
Hang on.
reading the save the date cards and they were really into the
Okay.
life-size Candyland. That was the
So
one
this
thing
is what we've
that
got.
stuck out to people.
We've got pony rides at petting zoo, we've got train rides, we have life-size Candyland game. We have the Arts and Scraps Scrapmobile from a place called Arts and Scraps. Imlay City did a whole event wrapped around the Arts and Scraps Scrapmobile and did very well with it. We have a ventriloquist show, magic show, little creature show is new this year. We have face painting, balloon artist, inflatables. Nash FM 93.1, the country station, is gonna be here all day long. The clock towers are going on, all the museums are gonna be open. The library is doing pumpkin carving and caramel apple making.
Blacksmith shop will be
The
open.
blacksmith shop will be open.
Wood carver will be
There'll a
there.
wood carver here. We're gonna
Thomas
have
the
kettle corn.
Train.
Thomas the Train, there'll be kettle corn here.
Okay, so we got a lot going
Yeah.
on.
So
Like
all
a
those,
lot.
$5.
but all those things you mentioned are part of the $93.25
Yes.
cost.
Yes,
So you said we're down, we had to come up with $5,000 last year.
No, last year it got paid for by the haunted eve.
Oh, okay, I thought you said
The
we
year
had to come.
before it was
Oh.
$5,000.
All right.
So it's still gonna be about $5,000 with,
But if
with
we
our
sell
sponsors.
500 wristbands, we're
It'll
good.
reduce
Okay.
that.
Sure.
So we're hoping that that cost of the wristbands will offset some of the costs of these bigger ticket items that we're bringing in.
But worst case is we're right where we were at with 2016.
But we should be able to move things around in order to handle it.
We had to then, right? Actually, we budgeted for it 15 and 16.
We have $5,000 in Central Business District events, but that means we don't do anything else. We only give $800 to
We're good.
wine
Right.
and
Art
art
and wine walk.
thing. So, and I'm sure there's gonna be other things, so we can move things around.
So when do we decide?
Do you need an approval
When?
tonight on this?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
We
When
don't
do
need
we-
any approval until the end of the year when we do our final budget.
But don't we have to like identify where that $5,000
When we
comes
pay
from?
We
the
should.
bills, we have to identify what account we're taking it out of, is what
Yeah.
she's saying, so we don't
Right.
have, we're not paying any bills, so we don't have to identify it. And when it comes around to paying the bills, she's gonna have this very creative idea where the hell it's gonna come from.
Well, right now it can come out of Central Business
Right.
events.
Okay.
I mean, it's covered.
Right.
You're getting into that period of time.
We
And I
just
can
don't have
move
to
wine,
make-
the wine thing to marketing.
We just don't have to officially do it yet.
No,
All
Right.
right, cool, thanks.
no, not till June do we have
When's
to.
the wine walk?
Wine and walk is until, it's the
October
night
12th.
before Harvest Day.
Okay.
What is
It's
it?
the kickoff event.
October 12th.
Alright. Good to go, Lisa?
But there's a lot of good
Alright,
stuff
thanks.
going on. And if anybody else wants to volunteer to give money towards this event, we'll take as little as $50 and as much as 1,000. So,
You're not taking
just
less than
saying out
50?
there.
We'll take
Why you
less than
cutting it off at
50.
1,000?
Yeah, I was gonna give $2,000, but I'm not gonna know.
Yeah.
Okay, 5,000. Think big, big.
Everyone in our audience was gonna
I
give
just,
$2,000.
I just want,
Cut it off like that.
There you
$1,000
go.
check from 5 people, that's all.
Alright, so we got no funding requests, and next up, we have committee reports, clock subcommittee, Grace is here, she was on the subcommittee, Lisa, myself, Bill Miller, Mike, Jake Foltz, and, Catherine. Does that cover everybody? So, we looked at, the first meeting, we kinda looked at some different, we scouted some different locations. We talked about, you know, the original spot in front of Starkweather. We also talked about, down closer to the new credit union, just cause it's a little more centrally located. There was, you know, I think after, I wasn't at the second meeting, but I think after everything was said and done, it was kinda decided that putting it back at Starkweather was the plan. I don't, you know, we just have to clear that with the donors. I don't know where they're at. Jay's not here. He said he was on his way, but I don't think that should be a problem. Now it's just a matter of picking the clock, getting the final cost for the install, and that should be prepped for October's meeting, and we'll ask for the money. We should be good to go.
So it's a brand new clock, everything.
It would be a brand new
everything
clock, and
is-
it would be something that is going to be a little bit better prepped for the elements. Bill's got this one clock company that, you know, they've been around for how long? 80 years, 100 years?
1860.
They've been around for a
It's
long
called-
time.
Name of it is Burton.
Okay.
It's BERDIN, it's the Burton Clock Company.
All in, it's probably gonna be close to 15,000, with the donors covering roughly half of that cost. So,
Where's the rest come from us?
the rest would have to come from us, and that's what we'd be asking for approval for at the next meeting.
And that shouldn't be a problem because our brick and mortar projects.
That would be in the brick and mortar, that's
will
where it would
cover
come out
that.
of. That's about it. Did Grace, do you have anything to add, or?
Just don't forget, we talked about having to put a base on it this
Right,
time.
so that it doesn't
Get hit.
get hit during, you know, plowing snow or anything like that. The only small details we'd have to figure out really are the plaque situations and,
We have the original one.
okay. Were you able to utilize any of the old?
We didn't get to that point because of
Okay.
Beach Festival, you know,
Sure.
it stops everything.
Of course.
But we've got the Romeo, the part that said Romeo that was on the top. Bill Miller gave me that.
Okay.
He gave me the plaque for safekeeping. He's got the rest of the clock.
Okay.
I'm not sure if we can do anything with it or not. We talked about perhaps having one of our members make something out of it,
Okay.
you know, rather than just throw it out, like for our yard, because we.
Yeah, you
our
guys,
yard-
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, cause it was just at DPW, right?
Yes.
It was at the
Mhm.
DPW, so yeah, I
but Bill's
mean-
got it though, at
Okay.
his place now. He picked it up and took it back to his place. It
Okay.
got pretty busted up,
Oh, it
the
was,
rim,
yeah, it was falling apart pretty good.
Yeah.
and the base has, you know, a couple spots that are messed up. But the stalk looks okay. I mean, it's really got pretty portions on it.
You can stick it in historical museum, right?
So we're just trying to nail down the next time to get the subcommittee
Okay.
together so we can finalize the clock selection. It's
Okay.
probably gonna be the two face, it's not gonna be the four face, just cause that would
Probably
make
bigger than
any
what's
sense.
needed at
Yeah.
that corner.
But yeah, it's gonna look sharp. It's gonna be, the clocks, that Bill was showing us, they're pretty cool looking. I think they'll fit well with the downtown
And will it have the Romeo on it again?
yeah, that's the plan, yeah.
Because it's pretty traditional for the Romeo High School students' senior pictures.
Right.
A lot of them get their senior pictures taken by that clock.
Maybe we could charge each of them $20.
Yeah, maybe.
50
I
by
doubt it.
me, where are you gonna put it?
Right back where it was. So, cause
Yes.
the wiring's already there, it's
Answered.
causes less problems, so.
Answer.
Jay, did you have anything to add?
There he is.
No, the only thought we were thinking about was maybe putting a little bit of light in front of it. We have the wiring already. Just put some type of light so we can actually see it.
Shine up.
Shine
Something
up.
to shine towards it, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's all the little details of the base and some of the other stuff that we can kind of go above and beyond and
Is it a
just-
lit face?
Yeah, what about a lit face?
That's a
That's a good question.
Yeah.
And then you
I'd
don't
rather
have to
see a lit
like,
face than a.
then you don't
I
have
don't
an
know if that
external
if it
light
comes like
to.
that or not, I don't know.
And you don't
Yeah,
have
we'd
an
have to
external
have Bill
light to
check.
mess with.
Yeah.
Just backlight the face somehow or something. Cool.
So it's gonna be, I mean, it's definitely a costly project, but the donor group's going to really help offset that and make it feasible. That way we get something that's gonna stand the test of time.
Well, it's a nice touch,
Yeah,
you know, it's a nice touch to have one.
yeah. Oh, we definitely need something there.
And
Right now it's
is
just a bunch of
there,
exposed
room
wires.
for a second plaque on there? Like, you got the original plaque, is there room for a second
Depends on what
plaque?
design we pick to use.
We'd have to make sure that there is room for a second, either because the people donating want to be
That's why I was-
recognized as well,
right.
yeah.
You
so
know, you
that-
have the
that would be-
original donees, but then you've got this other set that are
Right.
donating too, and the DDA.
The way we were talking
true.
before was that if everybody wanted to, if you got somebody wanted to keep that original plaque from the Collins family, give it back to them, whatever we wanna do, we could always add their name, even though they're not technically donating here.
Right.
We could, I know my grandmother's friends with the Collins, and she was gonna ask them if they wanted their name on there to begin with.
Yeah, and that would be, yeah, just, giving them that proper acknowledgement and just making sure that that's done the right way, and at the same time too, we don't wanna throw a bunch of plaques on there either,
No.
You
like,
could
let's
almost have
just make it
plaques
right.
remote too, right? You could have them in a separate.
Yeah, it could be a stand too, just by the alley too.
Yeah, I think once we decide what the clock is, I think from there we'll decide the plaque, the size, where it goes on there, so you can actually see it, cause we don't want it all the way on the bottom where you're kicking it and down
Right.
there. We want it up where you can actually see it, or you can read it, and maybe it's on a little bit of an angle, so it's not, if the clock's flat, you don't want the plaque, you want it maybe a little bit angled down,
Mm-hmm,
Right,
so you
it
can
could be
actually
just.
read it.
It could be in a concrete monument that has. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So we'll get that all wrapped up, and so the plan is, I think, one more subcommittee meeting, and then next month in October is when we get it all wrapped up, and then get it ordered. I don't remember how long Bill said it takes, but especially if we have that custom Romeo part too, it'll take a while, but we'll have it done.
I think next year anyway.
Yeah. When the next time the weather gets nice.
Roger had a comment?
Oh, sure, yeah, absolutely.
My parents are very good friends with the Collins family, and originally that clock, and I think this is a very important element, was donated in memory of Dorothy Collins. It was really an extensive part of the community, historical society. So I think that if you're gonna have the Collins name, I think there should be Dorothy's name as
The
well.
way that we had planned the plaque to go is that whomever the people are that are donating, we were going to put, the starting line was, the family of, so that's what we were gonna do, and then people name them off, so we can figure out, we can talk to them, see how they would wanna word it,
What if
very
you,
special.
Or
what if you
call
called it the Dorothy Collins
Collins clock.
clock,
That would be
could,
wonderful.
that could be the top header, and that's,
Yeah.
that's the name of it, and
Yeah.
so, we'll discuss that at the next
That's a good
subcommittee.
idea.
Yeah,
That's what I
so,
was thinking.
Sure.
alright, that covers it. Anything else?
No, thank you.
Thank you
All
very
right.
much.
Yeah,
Yep.
thank you. Yeah, it adds a
Thanks.
lot to the area, and it's a,
Yeah, it's
very
important to have
highly
it there,
traveled
yeah.
area, honestly,
For sure.
yeah. Important board member there.
Alright,
Yeah,
thanks,
just let me know
thanks
when
guys.
let me know when the subcommittee
Yeah,
meeting
we're
is.
thinking Wednesday, if you got, is that a decent day,
As long as
like
it's
in the
not
next,
next week, yes,
2 weeks from today?
that'll be fine.
Jay, good, 2 weeks from today? Alright,
Yep,
perfect,
thank you.
Alright,
thanks guys.
I'm doing okay, how about you?
good.
Alright. Next, under new business, village garbage cans, this was another idea brought to us by Mr. Parker here, and we've been talking to Amy and the art teacher at the high school. So Lisa's been getting some quotes for doing the sandblasting, because really it's not feasible unless those garbage cans get sandblasted first. So it's the only way they can have a decent surface to work with.
What are you trying to do with them?
Oh, you weren't at the,
No.
so we had mentioned making the garbage cans an art project, basically. So the kids will come through, they'll paint them, they need retouching, I mean, they're in rough shape anyway, so instead of buying new garbage cans, sandblast the ones that we have, let them take it on as an art project, and it's not gonna be something we do every year like the banners or every 6 months, it would just be until it needs to be redone again. So they might last 3 years, they might last 5 years.
And it's
but
the high school kids.
it's
They're
the high
actually
school
gonna
kids.
paint murals on them, I think is their idea, but not any theme. So, you know,
It would be interesting to see how
they're really
they,
excited about
they
it.
use
so.
that
No particular reason
surface.
they couldn't be redone every year.
Are you looking for
No,
a
I'm serious.
I-
It's a can of spray paint, for God's sakes.
It's the- well, we're gonna see how long it takes them next, because they're painting on slats, so it's kind of.
Does the substrate have to be powder coated though? I mean, because when you sandblast those, they're originally powder coated.
Yeah.
Should we re-powder coat them and then let them paint them?
We got a bid here, I think.
Yeah.
Well, okay, and I talked to, like I said, only one provided me a written estimate,
Mhm.
okay?
How many are there?
There's 18, is what there are. So, what was suggested to me in order to make them last a little while longer? All right, so if you media blast them or sandblast them, whatever you wanna call it, and then just prime them,
They're not gonna
the
last.
rust is gonna come back through.
They're not gonna
All
last,
right.
correct?
Their recommendation is that they media blast them and they powder coat them, and then the kids can paint over top of them, and the rust isn't gonna come back through as fast. And, you know, the estimated life, it says it down here on the bottom, you know, they say under their experience, 2 to 4 years is a safe bet. But you have to take into consideration road grime, salt, blah, 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 and
Mhm.
all of those things. So what it would be, if you look at the estimate, so you take option 2 off, so it would be the 1350 plus the 900 plus the 300 is what it would be.
For them to powder coat 18 of them?
To
So it'd be
sandblast them,
$900
powder
less.
coat them, and pick them up and deliver them.
For
That's what kind of money we
$900?
need.
2013.
Where'd you get that quote from?
So you wouldn't
This is
do
from
all three?
CD. Oh,
No, you wouldn't do option 2. If you look
It's
at
in the,
option 2, so media blast is the removal of the rust.
Right.
That just
Okay,
cleans them.
that's $50 a
Powder
can.
coating is the ceiling.
Right. And powder coat is the sealant and like the base for them to paint on top of. Option 2
It's
is
just
what you,
paint it.
is just to paint it, just to put a primer on it. So you need to do the media
Do they
blast
need
and
to
the
do a
powder coat.
primer before they do their painting, the kids?
No,
Or
this
can they
powder
prime
coat,
it?
no, they don't, once they put the powder coat on, they don't need to do anything.
They can just paint.
They can just paint it. So it's the media blast and the powder coat and the pickup and the delivery is what it is.
You ever get a cost, how much a can cost originally, or today?
They were,
you did.
Looking in the books,
they were
depending
800.
on, they go anywhere from like $395 up to $800.
I think we paid between $600 and $800
Yeah.
a piece for those.
And then, and that doesn't include the cans to go inside of them.
Yeah,
Right.
that-
I
that's
looked them
just-
up with the recycled plastic one. You know, like I don't know if they're made out of milk cartons or whatever.
Yeah.
And they were about in anywhere between $600 and $1,100. Now, why you need an $1,100 garbage can, I don't know, but they were expensive.
Carol, where could we find that money?
Brick and mortar.
Brick and mortar is where it would come from, and it's only $2,400,
Can I make a
It
motion?
says
that-
34.
and I'll second it.
Thank you.
I thought it was
We would
30.
do. There's
No.
two, but there's two
Yeah,
options. We
just
wouldn't
Minus
do both
$900,
options.
Option
because you
two out.
don't want option 2.
Take that $900
What's option
out.
2?
Option
It's in
two
the
is
package.
alternative to powder coat, fine crash can, so artists can paint over top of primer.
So there's a
Because
motion.
primer's garbage.
It has been
Yeah,
seconded.
primer isn't gonna do them any good. So you need to do
Well,
the
we'd
media
still-
blast, the powder coat, and the pickup and delivery.
We have to officially send this out for bid though, right?
You know what, she did that already.
No.
I've reached out for two estimates, and I don't know where else to go.
I couldn't find anybody.
No.
I
Did you guys
tried
try-
everything.
There's a guy that we use for all our race cars and stuff, you've probably used him, Powder Coat Bill, I have no idea what the name of his company is, on 23 Mile east of Van Dyke. I can reach out to him if you give me this, and at least get another bid, cause
Yeah,
I don't
would
think
be-
you can just
Okay.
sign up if you don't have a second bid to,
I mean, I've got,
maybe you
Did you
can.
get a second
can't see
verbal
why you
bid?
can't.
I got a second verbal bid, but
What was the verbal bid?
his was like $190 a can.
What's the process as far as actually putting it out for bid and?
Well, if it's under a certain amount, there's different criteria, and I don't
Right, I
remember
feel
what
like
the
we're
criteria.
above that
We're, I
amount.
think $3,000 is the bogey.
It wouldn't hurt to get more, it's.
Did you do an RFQ, or did you just call
No,
them?
I
No,
just
we didn't
called
do it
around
here.
'cause I didn't know you. I
Do you
mean-
think one of the body shops, can you do that?
They don't tend to powder coat too much at
No.
body shops, they'll media blast, and a
Powder
lot of
coat
them
has to be
send,
hung in order to do it, and it's an electrified process that does it. They spray it with a material, and then they put it in a heater that is charged, and then those particles fuse.
it's an electrical process, but
I know
most of the
too
body
much about
shops
that
send their
stuff, I
work
shouldn't.
out for media blasting to outside sources.
Cause isn't there a company called Powder Coat around here?
Yeah, powder coat too.
It is literally
Yeah.
called that.
It's in Mount Clemens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, there used to be one here.
Yeah, that's what I
I think
thought.
it's in Mount Clemens now.
I Googled that.
I guess I don't know if I'm
I
leaning
made a
towards Bill
motion.
if
She
we,
seconded it.
I know, but I don't know if we can legally do this, that's just Zach's question, can you do this?
Check it.
But you have
Well-
more than one bid, I mean,
We
Well,
don't
you
have
have-
another verbal.
I think
bid.
we need to do it the right way, but Bill did make a motion and
I-
Carol,
I seconded
Unless-
it.
I'm gonna,
So it goes to a vote, and then we can do the quote if it's, if that's the discussion, then we can table the resolution until we get a quote back.
Sounds good.
Could
What's the
that happen?
process for maintaining them once you guys do get it figured out?
There is no
Well,
maintenance
yeah.
program in government.
Don't put them outside.
That's, yeah, you know.
Yeah, no,
Can we
it's-
do it not
Just the
to
they-
ribbon, just the
exceed?
ribbon
There's-
cutting, everybody shakes
Can
hands
we
and
do
has
it
their
not to
chrome
exceed
shovels, and after that, everybody goes
$2,500?
home.
Clean hard
It's
hat.
standard, yeah.
You get a nice brand new
Yeah.
gold shovel.
Yeah.
2400's.
Go ahead.
Not to exceed $2,500.
well, yeah, but
Why don't
we
we
might
do
be able to get it
enough
for
to not
1,500. I would say, I would still
$1,500?
say.
That's what I was
Normally
gonna
it's
say.
done.
Those-
I was gonna recommend that.
And then do the remainder of them in the spring.
What?
Do who?
The $1,500 that we can spend without having to have an RFQ?
Okay,
We might be able to get it,
I
I
don't
still
know.
think we might be able to get it for cheaper all in one shot too,
But-
because if they're quoting out 18, they might not to do, we don't know if that's gonna change the price either.
You're gonna get the
I mean,
pickup cost.
it's
is gonna
pretty
double.
cheap, yeah, the pickup and delivery, it's a pretty cheap price. I mean, I don't know the legalities of it.
We should
I'm willing to
probably
take the
know
risk.
that.
I don't think the
I
feds are
know.
gonna come in here and
I'm
arrest
not
us
gonna
over
go to
it.
jail, I mean, what the hell,
Can I get a second quote?
It all depends on who decides to call you out on what,
Yeah.
so.
No, that's right. Okay, so motion by Parker, second by Humphreys.
do you wanna amend it to say not to exceed 2,500?
yes, I'll amend it to
Perfect.
not to exceed 2,500.
That's our motion.
Okay.
So if she finds a
So until the
bid,
next meeting, and if he comes back with a cheaper price, we don't have to wait till next meeting, you can just go ahead and get it done.
Yeah,
Lisa, can you do a roll?
Yeah,
Wait a minute.
yeah, I'm on that.
There.
So Randy's gonna get another bid, and it,
So,
that's gonna be in
We,
motion.
we can, okay, so right now, the motion is made and it was seconded, so we're gonna vote on it, we can discuss, but then if you want to vote no and then make a new motion, we can also do that as well. So you don't
That's what
have
we
to.
Because to me, the motion is this company, this bid not to exceed 2,500. That's what this motion is,
Right,
right?
and
We'll get the
I'm
work
thinking we
done
should
for
make a motion
$2,500 or
to
less.
send it out as an RFQ.
So
And
hold your motion till we vote on the first motion,
Right.
right? That's what you're saying, okay.
Mhm.
Sick
but
off.
what exactly is your motion, Bill?
Did we all adjourn for?
Is it,
it's time for me to go.
is it $2,500
It's
to
not to
redo
exceed.
the garbage cans by any company not to exceed
It
2,500?
sounds right, I think that's what I said,
I thought that's what you said.
right.
Okay. Parker,
Yes,
Humphries,
Yes.
Seidel,
No.
Sigalo,
What?
No.
Brant,
No.
Chyka,
No.
Hayes,
No.
motion does not carry.
Okay.
Alright, now make your motion, I'll reword it.
Okay, can we make a motion to send out an RFQ for the media blasting and powder coating for the 18 garbage cans? For downtown, that's it. That's my motion.
Oh, second. that
Okay,
motion.
motion by Hayes, second by Seidel. Lisa, can we do a roll?
Yeah. One second.
Is there any chance we could save any money by just loading these in a DPW truck and running them down there to wherever we pick?
Well, you got pickup delivery, it's $150
No,
each
yeah.
Not plus
way.
150
That's how
bucks.
much we pay you to be president per hour, so we can't say that much.
Be that, more than that in fuel.
Where are you taking them to?
Depends, we haven't gotten an RFQ yet.
18
haven't
of
sent
them
it out
in the
yet.
back of a dump truck?
Yeah, it's gonna be,
It's not gonna be one trip. It's not gonna be one truck. We don't have
plus
to
I'm
buy dump
assuming they're
trucks.
picking all of them up and putting them
Now
back
once
where
you
they're
powder coat them,
supposed to
they'll
be,
all chipped up.
right? So.
You- you're not
Maybe
gonna
take them
feature
down
it.
there, but not
Wrap
picking
them
them
in
up.
foam? Okay,
Okay. Hayes,
Yes,
Seidel,
yes. What is it? What is
It's
it?
not money, we don't have to, but we don't have to tell you, take it one
We
by
don't
one.
have to,
These
but we're
things have
going to.
be
An
if
A
it
or
gets
an
to
A.
paint.
Well, I was just
That's
gonna
what I
say,
meant.
hang on a second, because if it's not gonna be for another month,
You're running into cold weather,
they're gonna have to go to the high school, I would assume, and,
and
you know,
then they're
probably
gonna
do them up there somewhere, like in the old auto shop or something to that effect, because they won't paint outside. Would be my guess, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
We're running into a narrow time frame of, we run out of painting time.
Regardless, they need to be re-powder coated and fixed. So
We
if they
can-
get painted in the spring, great.
I'd
If
like to
they
see-
get painted in the gym in the winter, great. Or whatever Bill wants.
No, I wanna get it
Keep-
done.
Keep, you can keep going,
Oh,
Lisa.
okay. Alright,
Let me ask this question. Can there be a resolution that we allot $2,500 for this project, not to exceed $2,500 for this project, so that if the bids come in under the 2,500, then our director can go ahead and get it done? Can you give a resolution like that?
We had before.
Do we have to bring it back to a meeting
Yeah,
after all the
no.
bids are received?
No, 'cause
Then you
you're
don't.
approving, we've done it before.
Well, then it
as
doesn't,
long
it
as
doesn't
we
have
go
to be
over-
included in the motion then, right? If that's,
You
if we
put a
can,
motion to put an RFP out,
right,
okay. Now what I'm saying is, can we make a second resolution, or a second motion to accept an RFP as long as it is under a $2,500?
well, the only problem, what if we get 3 like that, how are we picking who we're
Well, then
going
we'll
with?
leave it up to your determination, or to 3 people. We'll pick 3 people, and only those 3 people will decide.
How many people do we need for a quorum?
5.
Call a special meeting and get 5 people to show up and vote for it in the next 2 weeks. Do you think we can get RFQs that quick?
I can try. I mean, all I can do is.
And if one comes back, if that's all that comes back, that's all that comes back. But then it's gonna be, is that enough time?
How many days do you have to have for an RFP? I thought it was 30.
Is it 30?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh my god, this is getting freaking
I think it's
complicated.
30. You gotta have time to let them.
I liked my motion, I told you.
The only issue is whether we are forced to quote it or not.
$2,500 should be way under what we.
Okay, so can,
I think
I don't know if
RFPs
this
are
is what we wanna do
5,000.
or
I
not.
thought so too, that's why I just.
So-
Remember.
If Lisa determines you don't need to do an RFP because we're under a certain amount, that we just go ahead with this and be done.
Yes.
I
But you gotta
mean,
have a motion,
Yeah, that's
to
still,
say
but
it.
there could be the risk that we could get this for 1,800. The work that I've done in the
Not to
past, this
exceed.
doesn't seem like an expensive quote for what they're doing. But I've never sandblasted a garbage can before.
Well, it's getting them picked up, taken down there, sandblasted, powder coated.
Understood.
For that kind of money, this is not unreasonable.
I just wanna make sure that Zach doesn't get caught in a loophole.
it is what it is. I voted no.
Yeah, I do too, so.
So is your motion still standing, or is it, have you left?
Yeah, well, yeah,
Well, we have
it's,
to.
it's been, okay, so where are we at on the roll?
Cause we don't have our purchasing policy
Okay.
with us, do we?
No.
No.
So it's a motion by Hayes, supported by Seidel, to send out an RFQ for media blasting and powder coating of the 18 trash cans.
Mhm.
Okay. You were a yes, Seidel was a yes. Siglo,
No.
Brandt,
Yes.
Chika,
I'm leaning towards the yes on that.
You can't tell how to vote, Bill.
Parker,
No.
Humphreys,
No.
Okay, so
Motion
who's getting a
carries.
scraper out and cleaning up the garbage cans?
So,
so we have, okay, so your motion is that we're going to send out an
So
RFQ
it
for media
carried?
blasting and powder coating.
yep, and
Okay.
Lisa, if you can find out how long we have to post the RFQ for, so that, you know.
And I'll find out if we need an RFP, cause I was thinking it was like $5,000.
But we still, it doesn't matter, we made the motion and it's, we're putting it out there, and if Randy's got a guy, if we can, I mean, if we can save $1,000 on this, I mean, we're,
And this guy might
We're-
come in at 10 grand, I have no idea.
we need money for Harvest Day, let's not just start blowing money just cause.
So-
I know.
So if we get another quote by Friday, and it's the same number or close, are we saying Zach can make the decision and we just go get it done? If we don't have to go
You
off
gotta have a
RFP.
special meeting.
We
If
can
we
get-
don't have
we
to
can
go
get
off
five
our
people
Can we
to show
not
up.
make that decision now? If we get the other bids in, Zach can make a decision on this and go ahead with
I think it'll be a motion. I'll make the motion.
We
If you
never-
get a bid in at under $2,500, Zach has the power vested in him by this board to okay it,
Providing an RFP is not required.
providing an RFP is not required.
it. I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion by President Siglo. Lisa, you got it? What,
Motion by Siglo, second by Parker, to, I was right.
I gotta pull it out again.
Sounded good the first time.
The,
Just allow
if the
Zach,
To give the
RFQ
chair-
comes back within $2,500, under $2,500, we give, this board gives Zach Hayes the power to approve the bid,
providing no
providing
RFP is
no
required,
RFP is required.
or RFQ.
It's RFP, I think
No,
this time.
he can choose which vendor then.
Zach can put the 3 quotes in front of him and pick B.
What's the vendors?
And if it's discussing Guido, who cares? Just get it done.
Guido makes t-shirts.
We're gonna be going to trash cans for the next 40 years.
motion by President Siglo, second by Bill Parker. Lisa, or we can just, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Oh, we're spending money. No, we
No.
gotta do it.
Do we
Lisa, will you
have-
do a roll?
Yes. Siglo,
Yes.
Parker,
Yeah.
Hayes,
Yes.
Chika,
Yes.
Brandt,
Yes.
Humphreys,
Yeah.
Seidel.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Can somebody send me like specs on these garbage cans so I know what we're quoting?
Take a
The
picture.
only thing I did was send him a picture.
Right,
I mean,
do you-
I
can you
don't-
just forward me that
you
picture?
want that picture?
Well, you're gonna have to, something's gonna have to go out for,
I just wanna be able to carry
Yeah,
it to him,
right.
I can take
Take one,
All right.
two on your truck.
I mean,
one in
I
my
don't
backseat of my
Pretty
car.
picture.
I have no, I mean, I can't get you the specs because I know they're heavy, I can tell you that.
No, you got to, cause you'll get your butt kicked.
Uh,
Just
Maybe
I mean,
you
just
have
the
specs on it?
No,
pickup
she
and
did. I
delivery
just-
for 300 is,
Picture.
I took the picture.
I wouldn't pick them up for $300, let alone pick them up and deliver them.
Well, this is the company that Bill told me to call, Bill Miller told me to call.
It may
And
very
I
well
called
be,
one of
it
them.
may very well be the same guy.
It might be scrap, we might not get them back.
alright, next, we have board member comments.
You forgot the end.
We didn't put it on the,
Okay, alright.
we didn't have it on the agenda. Bill? Or, I'm sorry, skip Ted. Ted?
I'm good.
Whatever happened to the lighting?
Didn't you wanna go home early?
That was, we were trying to get numbers from the village and we haven't gotten those back yet, right?
Let's do, in the next meeting, let's bring it up and talk about it, do something about it.
Put it on, well, it's
Let's get something done going, this is nuts.
it's in the village's
Should be
hands, right?
listed
We
on
need
our
numbers from the
page.
village.
We need-
Can we
we
get
need
that?
numbers. We need numbers.
We're pretty busy right now, it's not gonna be in the next couple of months, I can tell you
Should be
that.
listed
Alright,
as
there you
unfinished
go.
business
We're buried.
on the agenda every
Who
month.
cares?
Well, I'll put it on the list, but I ain't gonna,
Yeah.
right now, it won't be for a couple of months.
President
least.
Siglo,
No.
Oh, sorry, thank you.
Carol?
I was just gonna ask, Ted, if, the Harvest Day banners will be going up on the four corners to replace the Peach Fest banners.
I'm sure they will.
I already contacted Tim.
And have we decided, are we doing other corn stalks this year?
And decided, it's up to you guys if you wanna do them, I can arrange for them,
Talk to
and
you.
I can put them up, it's up to you.
No.
Yeah, I
Just
mean,
doing
look,
the
it'd be
lights.
good to look into it.
So you remember
Yeah, the
those,
corn stalks,
Lisa?
it'd be nice to look into it.
We had to take them all down
Carl?
for installation.
Good. Lisa?
No,
I'm good. Motion to adjourn. Motion by Siglo,
Second.
second by Carl. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Good night.